What's up everybody? You're watching the Car Passion channel and I would like to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Now as you can see, winter is in full effect here in San Diego and I'm not going to be able to stand these frigid 62 degree temperatures for too long, so I'm going to get straight to the point. I want to do a couple drift events in Broken Boosted. I've already done the cooling upgrade, I've got some more power under the hood, but I'm still missing one key thing. Broken Boosted has what's called an open differential, and what that means is if one of the rear tires gets into a situation where it has less traction, that's the tire that's going to spin. That's where the term one tire fire or peg leg burnout came from, because you can only spin that one tire as soon as it starts to slip, and that makes it very difficult to drift. Before I get into the differential stuff, you may have heard some YouTube channels talking about how YouTube has kind of changed up the way they're delivering videos to subscribers, and a few people have actually contacted me and told me that when I upload videos they're not seeing them, they're not getting any kind of notification. So what you can do if you want to get notification when my videos are uploaded is just click the little bell that's next to the subscribe button and you'll get a little ding on your phone whenever I upload a video and you guys will be able to check it out. So just want to make sure that the people that want to see my videos are getting my videos. As far as swapping the diffs, I've already done a detailed video on how to remove your diff and how to put it back in. I'll include that in a link down below in the description, but there are a few things I want to talk about regarding differentials. So what we're going to do is a little lightning round for differential frequently asked questions. Please keep in mind that the answers to the following questions are going to be pertaining to US spec Miatas. I'm boosting my Miata. What diff do I need to put in to be able to hold the power? Well, 1.6 liter diffs, that's 1990 to 1993, tend to explode somewhere between 180 and 200 horsepower. So if you want more than that, what you should do is put a diff from a 1.8 liter Miata in your car. Now pretty much everything 1994 to 2005 is roughly the same strength, whether it's limited slip or open. If you're going boosted, you probably want to do a limited slip differential, and most people opt for the Torsons. To do a Torsen swap, all you need is the differential itself, and 1994 to 2002 cars came with either open or Torsen differentials. You need the axles. Anything from a 1.8 will work. You could use a 2002 diff and 95 axles and a 99 drive shaft, and it will all work together. So, Torsen diff, axles, drive shaft, all from a 1.8 car, and you also need the drive shaft bolts. 1.6 liter drive shaft bolts are smaller and they don't fit right. 1.8 liter axles will fit into your 1.6 liter hubs. There's no modification necessary there. Now as far as gear ratios, you have a choice. 94 to 97 all came with a 4.1. The 99 to 02 came with either 3.9 or 4.3. Now, 03 to 05 non-Mazda speeds came with a diff called the Tochigi Fuji Super CLSD, which is a different type of LSD. I don't really know that much about it because most people opt for the Torsen swaps. If your car is going to be boosted, hands down, go for the 3.9. Going to a taller diff is going to help with traction and lengthen out those gears. That's enough blabbing. Let's get this diff installed. Oh yeah, I forgot one. So why would I do a welded diff swap as opposed to a 1.6 viscous LSD or just a Torsen swap? Well, a welded diff is going to drift a lot better than a viscous LSD, and as far as the Torsen swap, going welded is just way cheaper. Alright, so I got the back of the car up in the air, got the wheels off, I took the exhaust off. Next thing I'm going to do is hop under here and loosen the axles from the flanges. Since I'm just swapping this out for another 1.6 diff, I'm just going to leave the axles in the car. And if these nuts are really tight, it's best to use a 6-point socket rather than an open-end wrench to avoid stripping them. The first two nuts are always so easy. Now, you will notice that you're probably not going to be able to take that off all the way. So, here's what you do. Loosen your lower control arm bolt, and then remove the upper one. Now you can see the axle moves back and forth, and you'll be able to easily get it off of the half shaft studs. Now you can drain the diff. Now a lot of people in my other video said, you know, you should pull the fill plug before you pull the drain plug in case the fill plug strips. Okay, that's kind of a good point, but what are you gonna do if your fill plug strips? Throw the diff in the trash? No. You can still fill the diff through one of the axle holes as long as you know the right quantities. Technically, you could even fill a transmission through the drive shaft seal if you strip the fill plug. I'm also gonna pop the axles out while the diff is still in the car. Give them a little push. 4 bolts on the drive shaft, and that baby just pops right off. I removed 2 out of 3 bolts on the front of the PPF, removed both of the bolts on the back so I could just get this PPF off to the side and out of the way. Now all that's left is loosening the diff mount. So you have 2 12s and 1 17 right in the middle. She's dropped. It actually is easier to put these axles in the diff while it's still on the ground. Alright, to get that new diff in, you just follow those exact steps in the opposite order and you're good to go. I'll catch up with you guys once that's finished and we'll give it a good old burnout test. When you go to retighten these 2 control arm bolts, it's best to do it when the suspension is at its loaded height. So I really just do the best I can to jack it up a little bit here. And now I'll tighten them down. And the reason that is because when you tighten the bolts, it pinches the bushing into that position. So if you have the suspension all like raised up and then you tighten the bolts, it pinches the bushing and it kind of preloads, I guess is the word, when you put the car on the ground. So for best handling performance, you should load up the suspension before you tighten these bolts. Alright guys, well the welded diff swap is complete. I'm getting ready to go drive this thing so I can give you guys some feedback as far as how it drives, and then we're going to give it another burnout test. One small note, something that was recommended to me by the shop that welded the diff, is you want to change the diff fluid after maybe 200 or 300 miles just to kind of clean out any little debris or anything that was left from the welding, etc. So I'll go ahead and do that in a couple hundred miles and then this thing will be ready to drift. Alright, so driving the old welded diff for the first time. The car doesn't really feel too much different in turns like this. It's about, 20 mile per hour sweeper type turns. It kind of feels a little understeer. You can feel it pushing a little bit. This is a 25 mile per hour freeway interchange. So you can feel it kind of jumping a little bit. But pretty much anything that and faster, you're not going to be able to tell a big difference. Now I'm going around turns like this. You're gonna get the traditional welded diff chirp. What do you say we try that test again? Just go ahead and reduce the traction on one of these tires. Give her a little test. All right, I'd say that was pretty effective. Now let's get the heck out of here. Now the most annoying part about having a welded diff is parking. And not only are you gonna know you have one, but everyone around you is gonna know also. Let me show you what I mean. But hey, if you're backing it at a car meet, you're gonna get mad street cred because everyone will think you're a drifter. Of course, you do have the potential to wear out your axles and CV joints and your tires a little faster if you're dealing with a welded diff, but if you're going drifting, are you really concerned about wearing out your tires? Anyways, if you learned something in this video, don't forget to leave it a like. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.
Back from the dead.
Okay, one thing I've learned after driving a welded diff for only about 20 minutes, if there's pedestrians standing around, you come around that corner, it doesn't matter how slow, 1 mile per hour, and your tire's chirping, people are just like, oh, there's a car losing control. What's wrong with that car? Hi, car passion dog. Hey, what are you, camera shy? What are you, camera shy? Come here. Oh yeah.